I have had my trials and tribulations with eating. I used to eat 15,000 calories a day until I felt sick with relative ease, and then go and punish myself in the gym the next day on the Stairmaster, getting 30k steps. I even bought a walking pad so I could walk all day while I edit these videos. You would have heard it a million times before, but you cannot out-train a bad diet, and an issue like this needs to be addressed from the source. You can't be putting band-aid solutions on it. So this video is all about how I got out of the hole. So why am I making this video? Well, I've been quite transparent with my struggles and experiences with it all on my Instagram, TikTok, and through my YouTube videos as well. And I've actually had a lot of feedback from you guys and questions and DMs like, hey man, I'm struggling as well with the eating stuff. Like I literally can't control it. So instead of answering all those DMs here and there, I thought I'd just make one comprehensive video and spill out all my advice and tips and experiences in there. So I'll start by going through my lowest point. This was rock bottom. I'm not really ashamed of it. It's not really funny because it's kind of sad, but like, I think it'll help people and maybe some people will find it relatable. But it was actually between those two bodybuilding comps. I didn't really speak on it much because it was a little bit touchy at the time and I didn't really know how to interpret it. But there was such a big lead up for that first bodybuilding comp, and I was kind of like disheartened about it all. And in between I had 2 weeks until the next competition I was gonna do. And I was like, what's the point? Like I've dieted all this much, I've sacrificed so much, and for what? And my coach told me, oh, go and have like an off-plan meal, but make sure it's like meat, veggies, keep it clean, this and that. Like he wouldn't even let me have a protein bar. It was straight back onto the meal plan after that. And for me, my head was just like so gone after that. And I don't know what happened to me. Like I feel like it really wasn't me. It almost felt like some demon who just wanted to eat all the food in the pantry possessed me. I'll go through, all right. So instead of getting a clean meal, I went and had like burger, fries, milkshakes with my friends, and then ate all their food too. Went through the fitness expo, grabbed a bunch of protein bars and snacks, then went with my girlfriend to a shopping center and got like a cookie with ice cream and demolished all this food there too. Then I got home and my housemate Jackson got me a Nutella pizza and another pizza, and my stomach at this point was so cramped up and so sick, and I couldn't fit anything more, but I still wanted to eat that pizza for some reason. I just wanted that dopamine, that nice tasting stuff. I had one slice and I literally felt like I was gonna throw up, and it hurt so much. I was just there laying on the bed, and so I had to put the pizzas in the fridge. Then I randomly like woke up at 2 a.m. during the night. Girlfriend was asleep, everyone was asleep, and I went down to the kitchen and opened the fridge and then demolished the 2 pizzas then and there, went back to bed, and I was kind of like chuckling at myself. The next days after that, I would go into the pantry. We had like a big chocolate thing and there were lots of different candies and things, and I would go through and just pick away a Mars bar, a Twix bar, and I would have like 10 to 20 chocolates at a time, but I kept like going back to that pantry and I kept feeling magnetized and like picking away at it. To the coming days, there were no chocolates left, and let me tell you, at the start there were a lot there. If Jackson's watching this video, he'll laugh because he knows exactly what I was doing. From there, I only had like 9 days until my next comp, and I was full of water retention, full of bloat, looking far from my best. So I went to the gym. I would ride my bike 15 minutes to the gym. I'd go train and do an hour of Stairmaster, and if you know the Stairmaster, it's not a whole lot of fun. I was doing it on the speed of 10, so absolutely destroying myself. Then I'd go ride back, then I'd go get up to 20,000 steps. So I was destroying myself, and that made me realize the amount of calories I was destroying through all the snacks and garbage food. Like, I would have to spend 4 or 5 hours more on the Stairmaster, which you really cannot do, which leads me to the point, and everyone knows it, you cannot out-train a bad diet, so you're better off controlling and having strategies in place of what goes into your mouth rather than trying to extend your output to unsustainable levels for cardio. Anyway, I ended up turning it around kind of well because I did win my bodybuilding competition that 9 days later, and I actually think I looked a little bit better than my first comp, but that was only the start of the binge eating, because after that I went to India, and when we were staying there, we were all in these nice hotels and they had buffets, and this is, I'll talk about it more, but me in a buffet is not good because I look at it as how much value can I extract from this place. And we'd go there for breakfast, lunch and dinners we'd usually have put on for us as well, and I was putting away so much food. You guys would have been watching in my YouTube videos, like, how has this guy gone from looking lean, beast, chiseled jawline to like big chungus over here? And I was like putting on this facade that I was enjoying it and, you know, this is my time off, but dude, it was so unhealthy and it was fucking destroying my confidence because I was getting comments from people saying, oh, you look like absolute shit, you're watery, like knew this was gonna happen, blah, blah, blah. And even though I tried to ignore the comments, I was like, I'm not looking my best, which means I'm not feeling my best. I'm having unhealthy habits, and that just destroyed my body image and sense of self. I know like what you look like shouldn't determine your self-worth, but it did, and I think it's multifaceted from there. It's like the inputs you're putting into your body, you're not going to feel good anyway. So I'm glad the last few weeks I've managed to get my face back, managed to get some muscle definition, and the abs are coming through again. It's not everything, but for me, it is important. I want to be feeling good. I want to be training good. I want to be looking good. And that way I can make my best videos and talk well, and everything's just better. Yeah, in terms of numbers, I hopped on stage at 71 kilos. It would have been around 6% body fat. I was extremely like unhealthily lean. After that was really dramatic. I got up to 88 kilos, and a lot of it would have been body fat for sure, but there was also a ton of water retention. It was scary, and I swear it took weeks to months for that water retention to go down and to actually get my face back again. So why do people eat? Well, there can be a few factors at play. The first one is food is your sense of dopamine. This is what makes you happy. Every time you have a bite of something, or maybe something sugary, highly palatable, you get this dopamine release. You feel really good. You want to have another one, and it just leads to this never-ending cycle of eating yourself till you're sick and then picking up the next day or the next meal. Another one is emotional coping. So some people might get depressed through a breakup or life stress, work stress. Some people use substances, alcohol. Some people use food as their coping mechanism. Think the cliche TV show of the girl who gets dumped and she's on the couch with her best friend chowing down a tub of ice cream. So there's a lot of people that use food as their kind of way to get through stress and emotions. Then we have the overarching cycle. Now let me explain this to you. You start by restricting. So this might be a bodybuilding prep, or you're just cutting for summer. You're restricting the foods that you deep down crave, which is the second part of this cycle. So you're craving some highly palatable, sugary, fatty, yummy pizza, ice cream, that type of thing. And because you're just relying on willpower here, you inevitably, I don't know how much you're chowing down, but in my case, it was not a good amount. Probably could have ended up in hospital. Then the fourth step is you have this guilt. I remember for me, I'd be like, oh no, it's okay. But deep down, my feelings were, you bloody idiot, you're sabotaging, what are you doing? So then this leads to the final step of restricting harder. So in order to get out of the hole of it is very important that we break this cycle. So where did my eating tendencies or disorder actually come from? A lot of people might say, oh, it was a bodybuilding prep. But for me, I swear throughout my youth, teenage years, even after that, I always had like this bug that wanted to eat everything in sight. I came from a family, we weren't poor, but we didn't have much. And I was always like prompted by them, finish the food, no wastage, there's still food on your plate. So I swear as like a young, impressionable kid, this had like a lasting impact on me later in life, because I'm always looking at it as a challenge. If there's food on the plate, I got to finish it. Doesn't matter if I don't like it or not. And for things like work events or buffets where there's like literally free food there or something, I would look at that as a value maximizing competition. Like someone's paid for this, finish as much food as possible, survival mode. The opposite of the Japanese mindset where they only eat until they're 80% full. I'd eat until I'm like 120% full. Buffets are similar to like events where food was free, whether it be parties or like work events or events I was just invited to. I would look that again as like, get as much value out of here as possible. Your body's in survival mode. You don't know when you're going to eat again. And I'd look at that as a challenge to just eat as much as possible. Honestly, I'm looking back at it now and I don't know what the fuck I was doing, because everyone looks at me like I'm a freak at parties, just like there by the charcuterie board going. My friends, if you're watching, they will know exactly what I'm on about. Nobody else is touching that shit except me. Then the pinnacle of restriction, obviously my bodybuilding prep. I think this just exacerbated the issues where my hormones were so out of whack. Leptin and ghrelin, I think, are the ones that help regulate appetite. And this was physiological starvation as well as psychological, like value maximizing, wanting to eat, panic mode. And this was just a recipe for disaster coming after prep. Also, I said it on a reel the other day, but when I was a kid, I had a decent diet, but on a Friday night, I would come home from school and be playing COD Black Ops 2 with my friends until 2 a.m. But before that, I'd go to like the local supermarket and I'd pick up a packet of lollies. They were like the Starburst crazy babies with like the liquid center. They were insane. I get a full packet of Smith's salt and vinegar chips. I'd then get like a full block of Cadbury. Usually it was white chocolate because for some reason I didn't like the darker milky chocolate, or I'd get Top Deck. So there'd be the holy trinity there. They'd all balance each other out. Sometimes I get like a soda as well, like a 1.25 litre Mountain Dew. My parents would get like pizza on the Friday night. So I swear This was definitely unhealthy because I would literally finish it all and I'd somehow end up losing weight by the end of it. This was when I did not know what calories were. So now for the good bit, and probably what most of you have been waiting for, the tactics, strategies, advice, tips that actually helped me get out of the hole. So I talked about breaking this cycle. And I think the main thing that helped me get out of this cycle is actually just the awareness, knowing that I'm actually caught in a damn slippery slope. So the first step for that was to actually tell people around me, and they're like, oh no, but you've deserved like the time off and eating all the garbage and the junk food. And I'm like, no, like I'm taking it too far. Like there's having a donut and a pizza in here and there, and then there's what I'm doing, and I actually need help with it. So for me, that was going and talking with my psychologist, who just so happens to specialize in nutrition. So that was really good to break out of my mindset and help reframe my brain. One of the key reframings was that restriction thing, you know, calories this, calories that, you're not allowed to eat this and that. I would be, as you guys seen, 0 or 100. I'd be either completely willpower, never veer off meal plan, or just completely binging. So 0 or 100, not good. And she's like, let's, you know, not be so extreme there. When there's something on offer, you're allowed to have a little bit of it. And when you do want to have some junk food in a packet or something, you don't have to finish that whole packet. Whereas for me, it was like, whole packet of Maltesers, need to eat. And the next one, it was like a challenge for me. So it was about reframing my brain. You can have 1, 2, maybe 3. Let's just call it there. And so once you build repetition of doing that, it gets so much easier. And it is just about reframing the brain. You can just have a little bit. You don't have to have a lot, and you don't have to completely cut it out either. There is that middle ground. She told me this tip in one of the sessions, and it literally changed the game for it. It made stuff so much easier. One thing I realized for myself is, as I said, I'm a value maximizing eating cheapskate. So if the food wasn't in the house and I had to buy it, that was like a financial barrier in the way. And so I'd be way less likely to do it. So not having the food in the house, I was pretty down bad, but a lot of the time I wasn't down bad enough to go through the Macca's drive-through. I don't even like Macca's, but drive to a supermarket and go and stock up. But like, I did that a few times, but I wasn't like often bad enough to do that. Also, bro, I was doing the dumbest shit. I would get to the buffet and I would like start the day eating like muffins and chocolate and the dumbest stuff possible. So your brain is just signaling, there's no nutritional value here. I need to eat more to get that nutritional value. And you're just in this constant loop of eating. Whereas the smarter thing would have been, go to the buffet, load up fruits, veggies, fill up on them, you know, calorie sparse, actually nutritious. And then at the end, maybe have like a waffle or something like that and just keep it at 1. But no, for me, I was just like, freaking croissant here, just getting the dumbest shit ever. Obviously you guys know not to do that, but for me, for some reason I was not doing that. One morning I forgot that my girlfriend made me a whole Tupperware container of caramel slice, and there were like 8 big caramel slices in here. Yeah, they were caramel slice, not vanilla slice, and they were quite sizable. You guys know there's probably like at least 800, 1,000 calories in each one. I sat down on the couch. I was going, 1, that's pretty good. 2, that's pretty good. 3, they just kept tasting good. I got to about 4, and I was like, oh, like I'm proper sick, like proper cramping here. And look, ended up sitting down on the couch for 2 hours watching YouTube videos. I was watching Joshua Wiseman freaking Texas barbecue food video. So I was actually just being the fattest piece of shit ever. I was watching food videos while binging food. I got through all 8 of them. That was probably second most down bad story, but all out on the table here, not hiding anything. We got through it, and those are my best tips for stopping the I reckon we're looking better now. Got the face back, you know, got the deltoids there, abs coming through. Keep you guys on the journey. So yeah. If you're wondering where the hell is this guy now, I am midway through my expedition of rogue country. So started in Helsinki, Finland, then made my way through the Baltics, so Tallinn in Estonia, then Riga in Latvia, and now I am in Vilnius, Lithuania, before I fly out to Berlin. I am doing this all solo travel. You guys will probably know I'm a big advocate for solo travel, and coincidentally my birthday is tomorrow, which is the day this video goes up. So if you're watching, it is my birthday. I think this is the first time I've spent a birthday alone, but I'm filming these videos. I got my subscribers, I got you guys, and I really enjoy making these videos. Also, Lithuania is country number 40 for me. I'm trying to stack them up as much as possible, fill in my grayed out map and see the whole world before I die. So I want you to know, if you are struggling with you're not broken, you can recover. The first step is just awareness, and then maybe implement some of these tips I've had in this video. I'm also not a doctor, this is just my story, but if it did help, maybe share it with someone who does need to hear it. If you do feel like you need a little bit of structure and meal ideas for getting out of that hole on how to cut down, then my anabolic fat loss meal plan is in the description. I pour my blood, sweat and tears into that thing. It's all high protein meals, high volume. You're better off filling up on those than filling up on junk. It's literally just a one-time $50 investment into yourself, and already thousands of you have bought it, so thank you very much. You keep these videos happening. Let me know what other videos would be useful to you guys. So I hope you did enjoy this one, and I will catch you on the next one. Mwah.